Good morning and welcome to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm your host, Diana Rich, and I'm joined in the studio with my friend, Nick Steffens. Good morning, Nick.
Friend, that's a nice change of...
Yeah, I mean, we've known each other for a while now.
No, I mean, I've been working here for a year, so it's been like 10 months.
Yeah, so friend.
Yes, good.
How was your weekend?
It was good. Jade graduated, so that, I mean, the ceremony part isn't fun, sitting in a hard stadium chair for 4 hours, but moved her down officially, and so it's been fun.
So your last trek up to Cedar Falls for a while?
Yes, hopefully. Although her grandparents are like, so when you come up and stay, and we're like, sure.
Maybe not as often. All right. Did you shower your mother for Mother's Day?
I didn't get to see her, but I did send flowers.
That was nice of you.
Yes.
Very good. Well done. Well played. All right. Let's take a look at the weather. It is 57 degrees and mostly cloudy outside. A little chilly this morning, but I think the weather's looking up for the rest of the week. So looking forward to that. It's always nice when I'm in my office.
AKA home.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have an office, or is it just like you're on the couch?
Yeah, no, I have an office.
Okay.
In my house, and I have a nice window, and so I can look at how nice it looks outside. And then
do you still have the bird problem?
The birds running into my window have slowed down. They have found another window to bash into, but
perfect.
Yes. And some other friends have said it's been happening at their house, so I kind of wondered if my bird problem made its way somewhere else. But there's lots of birds in the world, so could also be that. All right, let's take a look at the local events. Today is the 15th. Tomorrow on the 16th, we have Iowa Gardens of the Past at the Washington Public Library, presented by the Washington County Master Gardeners from 2 to 3 p.m. Learn about past, lost, and historic gardens of Iowa City with Beth Cody. Sounds interesting. There's also the Southeast Iowa Venture Club on the 16th. They welcome startups and local small businesses to network, share their stories, request feedback, discuss what works, and exchange tips and referrals for local resources. This is all happening at the Mills Seed Company from 4:30 to 6:30 tomorrow. Yeah,
my friend does that, so it's good. Highly recommend it if you're trying to start a business.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard of that before. Cool. And then this is really exciting. The Washington Farmers Market starts this Thursday in Central Park, May 18th, and it'll continue every Thursday through October 12th. Vendors make, bake, or grow all the products for sale. Food trucks featured each week, and business guest spotlights also 5 to 7:30 downtown Washington in Central Park.
Definitely got to stop in and grab some things. It's nice it's not Thursday, so that way I can I'm at work, I can grab things and
hit the road.
Yeah.
It is one of my favorite things that kind of starts happening in the spring and then goes through the fall. And I think they've done a nice job of continuing to grow the farmers market with adding food trucks and kind of bringing people downtown. And they have like a book exchange, or kids can come in and get free books.
So I always sleep past the one in Mount Pleasant. It's on like Saturdays at 7 a.m.
Right.
I'm not awake at 7 a.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah, either not awake, you don't want to leave your home, or you've already left for the day. So Thursday evening is nice. So got that to look forward to. And now we'll take a look at the police report. Looks like there's several calls. 22 traffic calls, 7 animal complaints, 6 calls for suspicious activity, 6 theft calls, 5 sex offender checks, 5 calls for public service, 5 calls for disorderly conduct, and then several more calls for a total of 91 on the police report. And Nick picked out the highlights or lowlights. We had a suspicious activity call from Brighton. Caller went outside and found someone sitting in his vehicle smoking a cigarette, and she was refusing to get out. Upon calling for law enforcement, she has not gotten out and is walking east. She did go through the console of his car, but he didn't notice anything was missing. The cops responded. Female was located and advised not to return to the caller's property or charges would be pressed. 9211 transported her to her residence.
I think that might be one of my favorite ones ever, of just smoking a dart in a random person's car.
Very thorough report.
Yep.
I appreciate that. And a peaceful ending.
Yes. Well,
all the things.
Read the next call.
Suspicious activity call, also in Brighton, Iowa. Caller reports that upon arriving home, she noticed a female subject sitting in her car at a different address. 9213 responded and spoke to both parties. Subject was warned of the consequences for any further issues and was given a ride home.
I'm just going to take a shot in the dark and say it was the same woman sitting in a random car.
It was on the same day.
Yeah, and in the same town.
Yeah. Interesting. It was a different address, but you can travel quickly in Brighton. Let's put it that way. We had a lost and found property call in Washington. Caller reports finding a debit card in the bank ATM. Card was turned into the police department. 104 will attempt to locate the owner.
I am guilty of this, and so is my mom.
Done that before?
Yeah, well, because the one where we banked at in Mount Pleasant, it used to not like beep at you, or like the one now you have to take your card before you can take your money.
Yeah.
And so, you grab your money, you put it in your wallet, and you go on and just forget about the card.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't like beep or anything.
Yeah, that's some of the older ATMs don't do that.
Well, that was a very nice person to report the debit card.
Yeah, not take it.
Not take it. So we had a public service contacts call in Washington. Reports female outside removing her clothes. 103 and 104 responded. Female was advised of complaint.
I like how that's under public service.
Right. Interesting. Do you think she was removing her clothes from the clothesline?
No, I'm gonna assume her body.
Okay. Well,
People don't believe me when I said a clothesline growing up. Like that's how we dried our clothes.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Did you grow up on the prairie? Like that? You didn't do it?" I'm like, "I did."
There's lots of people that do it. We didn't do it, but we did go to Canada last year, and we like flew to a remote lake, and that's how they did like all of their laundry. And our kids were like, "What? There's underwear on that line." I'm like, "Yep, that's how people get it done." All right. We had some calls from Iowa City, which are always interesting. The Iowa City Police log, urinating too frequently.
I don't know if this was the same guy. I think Tim was hosting that day. Someone called in because they weren't peeing enough.
Oh.
So hopefully maybe it's the same guy, and now he's reversed his problem. I don't know.
I hope the person who takes these calls in Iowa City is writing a book because...
Well, the person where I get these from, the guy actually did write a book.
Okay.
And sold a bunch of copies.
What do you say to somebody that calls and tells you that? No words?
Stop drinking water.
Okay. Next one. Female mooning people in front of park near post office. It was graduation weekend in Iowa City.
That is a good point.
It got crazy. Last one from Iowa City. In the backyard, going strong at 4 a.m. Reporting party doesn't know what planet they are from. All right.
I don't know what that means.
All right, graduation weekend. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. So, all right, that was an interesting police report, which we always usually expect after the weekend. Later, coming up in the show, I'll be joined with Barbara James and Marj Linz. They're going to be talking to us about the Young Cabin in Sunset Park. So we'll take a commercial break, and when we get back, we'll talk to them.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank. Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross, Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
Hey, I mean, what did the drummer name his twin daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2.
Welcome back to Washington Live. I'm your host, Diana Rich, and I'm joined in the studio with Marj Linz and Barbara James. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are you guys?
Good.
Doing good.
All right, good. Glad to have you guys here, and we're going to be talking to Barbara and Marj about the Young Cabin in Sunset Park. How are you guys involved with the cabin in Sunset Park?
We are both members of the Daughters of the Revolution, and we own the cabin.
Okay, very good. What's the history around the cabin, and where exactly, for people watching, where's the cabin located?
It's in Sunset Park, and you can see it always when you drive by. It's been in the park since 1912. The cabin itself was built in 1840, and then there used to be several newspapers in the town, but the editor of the paper that was called the Democrat, he asked two of the young brothers if they would donate this as a memorial to pioneers. So they dismantled it. It was northwest of town, and dismantled it like Lincoln Logs and reassembled it in the park.
Okay, and when did it move to the park location?
1912.
Okay, I heard you say 1912, but I didn't know if that was the year the cabin got made. Okay, very cool. So they gifted it to your organization, and you guys have been taking care of it ever since?
Yes, that is our main moneymaker, fundraiser. When we're raising money, it always goes to the maintenance of the cabin. Right now, we're going to have a new roof put on, so that will start fairly soon, and we've been saving money for years to do that. We want to keep it. It has to be historically correct, too.
Yeah,
It can't be shingles or a metal roof. It has to be cedar shake shingles.
So has that been hard to find the cedar shakes or shingles or someone to install it, or has that come together pretty nicely for you guys?
No, that's been easy. We have a roofer in town, Rick James, and no, is that right? I think that's the right name. Anyway, he is very knowledgeable, has lots of experience, and he and his crew will start just any day now. The weather has to be nice and all, so it'll be tied up probably for about a week that he'll do that.
Very good. Okay. Tell me a little bit about, what does the inside of the cabin look like? I don't think I've been inside of it, or if I have, it's been a long time.
It looks pretty much like I would imagine it did when people were living in it. There may have been a partition down the center on the first floor, but it looks like it's been removed because you can kind of see on the sides where it was. And I can't remember how many children they raised in that house, but
10.
yeah.
Oh, wow. I cannot imagine.
Yeah, I can't imagine that either.
It is not big.
And we do have items in there that have been donated over the years, household items, and they are relevant to the time period that the cabin would have been inhabited by the family. And one of my favorite pieces, and it sounds odd, but it's a little sewing machine from around the Civil War era. It's cast iron, and it looks like it was hand cranked.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's kind of interesting to me.
Oh,
because
yeah, absolutely. I can't
I have
imagine.
an electric sewing machine, I can't imagine.
I go to the store and buy my clothes, so I can't even imagine doing any of those things. So.
Yeah.
They were hardy people.
Yes, right? Oh, wow. That's very cool. So tell me about what other types of things you have to do to maintain the property or kind of keep it up to date. The roof is happening. What other things have you guys had to do? Or
The chinking between the logs, we had to replace some of it due to age, and we had to patch some holes in the logs also.
So they had to replace the door. I always thought, it was very flimsy, and I thought if someone was angry, they could just kick it open. So we had someone build us a new door, and he went above and beyond. It's like a sandwich. It's wood and metal and wood.
oh, wow,
Yeah, it's great. So
very sturdy.
yeah.
Good. So what a neat piece of history to have in the park in Washington. And it looks so nice and cute too. And people pass by. Do you guys take care of the flowers around it, or does somebody else do that? It always looks so nice.
Usually the people that take care of the other flower beds maintain the flowers. We kind of go and tidy up, and we put bunting up and different, we'll have a flag out when we have the cabin open and a wreath on the door in the wintertime.
Okay, awesome. And speaking of the cabin being open, when can people see the cabin or go inside and learn more about it?
Well, as we were saying, Sundays, once a month, from 1 to 4, we usually have 2 of our members we volunteer different times to come.
The first Sundays of every month we're open Memorial Day, and then after that, every first Sunday of the month through September 3rd.
Good.
I think that's the last day.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So how do you share this information with others? Do you guys have a Facebook page, or rely on kind of word of mouth or journal? Or the Southeast Iowa Union, excuse me.
Yeah, we do have a Facebook page, and we also have a sign that we put out when it's open, and it's amazing the number of people, that they're just driving through the town. They'll stop and tour, and like you say, you have lived here all your life, you've never been in it. And
I don't think so.
A lot of people that have lived here forever, they go, oh, we've never been in the cabin. It's like, And once in a while, if there's a special group, we'll have it open, like for Leadership Washington. We always have a tour so they get to know a little bit about the cabin and the Young family. And Alexander Young was the oldest of all the children. And he was a brave little boy. When he was only, I think they said 6 years old, he would sell butter to the neighbors in the area, and it wasn't like going door to door. He would take off on his horse, and his father had to blaze the path so he could find his way back. And that was Alexander, and would have been fun, a little 6-year-old to do that. I have a 6-year-old grandson, and I just can't imagine.
Sending him off on the horse.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be something. But, and there are 2 direct ancestors of the Young family here in town. One is Sarah Young Murphy, married to Keith Murphy, and then John Young,
Okay.
her brother.
Wow. So when people stop out at the cabin, are there plaques with information and the history, or how do people kind of learn about the history of the cabin?
Usually one of us is there to tell the information, and we also have a brochure that we give to people that visit. And most of the furniture that was owned by the Youngs is tagged, with a special tag that tells, what, who the original person was that had the piece of furniture.
Very cool. All right. Well, that's great that you guys open it up and have that opportunity for people. And it's also great that it's right on the 4 lanes or the 3 lanes now, I guess, for people to see when they drive by and then be able to stop. And so that's really awesome. Let's head to commercial break. And then when we get back, we can talk a little bit more about it. And then you guys can try your luck at the birthday game. How's that sound?
Okay.
All right, we'll head to commercial
Since
break.
1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself. Tammy takes the time and has the personal interest in each one of us. I don't worry about what's going to happen because I know my policy is taken care of.
She pulls what I need and puts it together, which is the program I get from her.
Every year she calls around September or so and says, there's changes again, and I'm going to do the best thing for you. It's been perfect. She does a great job.
Welcome back to Washington Live. I'm your host, Diana Rich, and I'm joined in the studio with Marj Linz and Barbara James. They're both members of the Daughters of American Revolution. And we've been talking a little bit about the Young Cabin in Sunset Park and how one of their main missions is to fundraise and keep up this cabin that was gifted to them to take care of in Sunset Park. And I was learning a little bit more of about the Daughters of American Revolution. I wondered if you could tell the viewers a little bit about your organization too.
Do you want to do that, Barb?
I can do that. We're all women who have descended from American Revolutionary contributors or soldiers of the time. We have we document it really well. They're pretty strict about looking at your stuff because I guess they don't want to make any mistakes. And so we like to help preserve history, give genealogy workshops, education, support education. We have several schools across the country that we support, and just education in general. We do offer sometimes during the school year writing competitions with I think a rather nice cash award for those that we choose, and as being the best paper. Usually it's high school age students, and we even send our local person's paper to the state, and then it can even go up to national.
Oh, neat.
And so they can get some money for scholarships.
Very cool.
Doing that.
So is the Daughters of American Revolution that you guys, is it like a Southeast Iowa chapter or Washington County chapter, or?
We're the Washington chapter.
Okay.
Excuse me, Washington chapter.
That's okay.
I grew up in Riverside, so I say Washington.
It's okay.
We're the Washington chapter, but throughout the state we have different local chapters.
Okay.
There's a couple up in Iowa City and one down in Mount Pleasant. So we're throughout the state.
Very good. And you said you have about 20 members currently?
In our local chapter.
Very good. And you said, one of your main kind of missions is, or projects that you guys do is take care of the Young Cabin. And I know we talked about you guys are going to be shingling it here shortly to help kind of maintain and preserve that. How do you raise funds and pay for projects like this?
We do have a weekend in September that we do the junk in the trunk.
Okay.
Which is, I guess, an opportunity to clean out your things that you don't want. One man's treasure.
One man's trash is another's treasure.
Yes,
Yep.
another one's treasure. And that this year it's going to be on September 24th.
Okay.
And I believe we start at 8 in the morning.
This year, I think we'll start a little bit later.
Later?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe more like around 10.
Yeah, and you guys did this in the spring, or was it last fall? I was
fall.
at your last one, but it's crazy how time flies. I felt like it was just there a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we always try to do it in September.
Okay.
Yeah. And we will be posting flyers and stuff with
When
the
it gets
times.
closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a neat opportunity for people to get rid of some of their things and all kind of in one location, so you don't have to drive around with a map and find people's houses. And people live in the country or Ainsworth or smaller towns, it's kind of harder to have garage sales, so it's a neat opportunity.
Because I've had people say that they live in the country and they say it's crazy to try to have a garage sale out in the country because nobody can find you, and this is convenient. It's all downtown. We just rent parking spots around Central Park, and they can have one spot, they can have several, just up to them.
Yeah, that's a neat idea. Very cool. Anytime anything can happen downtown, we have such a beautiful downtown. It's fun to to go and do things like that. So, all right. So that's something people can look forward to, Junk in the Trunk on September 24th, and watch for more details to come out about that. Is there anything else you guys want to share about Daughters of American Revolution or the Young Cabin?
Oh, let's see. We're always looking for more members, and men can join too. Then, of course, they're called the Sons of the American Revolution.
Okay.
And teenagers, I think you have to be at least 18 to join. I don't think Barb mentioned local, but we do have a local scholarship we always give to graduating seniors every year. So something they can apply for.
Yeah. Very good. Are you guys all women currently members?
Yes.
And how often do you guys meet?
Once a month.
Once a month.
Okay. Very good. Awesome. Well, I enjoyed hearing about, I think I probably knew that you guys took care about Young Cabin, but it's interesting to hear it. And one of my favorite things about living in a small town is hearing from all of these different organizations that kind of help contribute to the greater Washington community. So thanks for all you guys do to keep the Young Cabin looking nice and available for people to see and learn about. That's really, really awesome. So, all right. Well, on that note, today is National Day.
Is National Bring Flowers to Someone Day, which I need to do because my siblings sent flowers to my grandma for Mother's Day, and she was not home. So I had to bring over all the flowers.
I need to go buy some flowers and plant them outside my house. I haven't gotten to that yet. I was thinking about doing it yesterday, but I don't really like doing it. So.
That's fair. Someone planted flowers outside my house 20 years ago. Who knows? And so whenever they bloom, they bloom.
There you go. All right, you guys need to go home and tell like your husbands or friends or something that they need to bring you flowers today.
My daughter.
It's the National Day. There you go. There you go.
Tell my parents.
All right, and now we'll play the birthday game.
Oh, yeah.
So to explain the rules of the birthday game, I'm going to put a celebrity whose birthday is today on the screen. You have to guess their age. If you're within 3 years, you get a point. If you get it right on, you get 2 points. And so
And you're playing for this.
Yes.
Is 100% plastic plated gold.
Plastic.
Yeah, we're on a tight budget here at Washington Live. Our first celebrity is Emmitt Smith, the former football player. Apparently, if you want to have a football player as a kid, have them on May 15th because he is not the only one on this list.
There you go. All right, so I can guess his age first. I will go with 52.
I was going to say 57.
All right.
I was going to say 60.
Go with your gut. Got to do it.
He is 54. So Diana and Marj, you start out with each get a point on that one.
Okay.
Next up, we have, he's the other way apparently. We have Ray Lewis, another football player. Like I said, if you want a star athlete.
I'm going to go, let's say 51.
I'm going to say maybe 62.
48.
He is 48. So we've tied it up between Diana and Barbara at 2-2, little 2-1-2. Next up, we have Alexandra Breckenridge.
It's a long name.
It is.
I don't know who she is. Do you know who she is, Nick?
She's in like some movies. I don't know if she was like the star.
Some movies.
Well, like, yeah,
Oh, I've seen some movies.
Yeah, where she's like not the star, but she's in like, she's in them still. Let's see.
It's okay.
She's the Man. This Is Us. American Horror Story. A lot of Christmas Hallmark movies, if that's your thing.
That is kind of my thing.
So, Love in Store, Christmas Around the Corner. Do those ring a bell?
No, those don't, but I appreciate the intel. I will go with 39. She's older than that.
36.
I was going to say 35.
She is 41. So, Diana, you extend your lead. It's 3-1-2. She's watching today. She'll appreciate that we all guessed her younger than she actually is. And now it's time for the final bonus round, which is where I find the least famous person And so this round is worth double points. I'm going to see if I can enlarge the photo of this guy. His name is Alan Kawizinski, who was the star of Warsaw Shore, which is the Polish knockoff of the show Jersey Shore.
Interesting. Have any of you guys seen that? Or heard of it?
I'll be going looking for it on
Which doesn't make any sense because Warsaw is in the middle of the country and not
Right.
next to the ocean.
I really have no idea. We'll go with 35. But I feel like he's younger than that.
I'm going to say 38.
I'll say 32.
He is 31. So it looks like, Barbara, you win with a score of 4 to 3 to
Wow, look at you coming from behind. Nice
1.
work.
With the double point on the bonus round.
All right. That's like the most points I've gotten in a long time.
You did good, but
3 was the most points. All right, nice job, Barbara. All right, thanks again for coming on today's show. It was
you.
nice chatting with you both. Thank you for joining into Washington Live. Please make sure to like, comment, and follow Washington Live. If you have any suggestions of shows that you'd like to see or someone you would like to see on the show, make sure to email washialive@gmail.com. And of course, if you would like to advertise with the Southeast Iowa Union and Washington Live, please contact us for that as well. Do you know the number for that, Nick?
it's Julie here. I'm trying to...
Julie at the Southeast Iowa Union.
Call the Southeast Iowa Union and ask for Julie.
Very good. There's a plug for Julie. So, all right. Thanks again for joining us and have a great Monday.